Do you think you need to deliver on that promise before 2022?
Which promise?
On debt forgiveness for student loans?
Well, I think that we have to continue to do what we're doing to figure out how we can creatively relieve the pressure that students are feeling because of their student loan debt.
God forbid you have to pay back a loan that you decided to take out so you could go get a basket weaving degree. Well, joining me now, Congressman Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma. Sir, welcome to the program.
Hey, Carl. Thanks for having me on again.
Of course, my pleasure. So you are a very normal guy and you give a lot of opinions that resonate with a lot of people. So I thought I'd ask you about this. Nobody held a gun to these kids' head. They just said, hey, I want to go to college. I want to get a whatever in, epic dance theory or whatever they choose. Nothing useful.
Political science.
Yeah, exactly. Political science, so they can be a consultant in D.C. for your campaign or something like that. And now they want their debt repaid. They're like, I can't possibly afford $250,000 because all these universities are paying people like Elizabeth Warren and all these other former Obama officials hundreds of thousands of dollars. Should we forgive that?
Listen, you are raised on a sense of responsibility, and that sense of responsibility is a duty that you have. I inherited quite a bit of debt when I first got into college, and then when I left college to help my folks out. And a lot of people around me was telling me to file for bankruptcy. And my dad and I had a long conversation about it. And he's like, son, this is our commitment. This is our word. And you're only as good as your word. And so in my opinion, when you allow people to get away with just simply filing bankruptcy, walking away, or for getting their debt forgiven, it really takes away from the value of the hard work of earning that money and the pride it takes to and the character it builds to pay that back. Listen, you took on that responsibility. You took on that debt. No one else made you do it. But when it's just simply given to you, you don't respect it the same way you do when you earn it. 100%. When you have value inside of that, and there's a sense of you that is never there anymore. You almost have this sense of entitlement, rather than I've earned it and the pride that comes with that.
100%. I mean, case in point, I was talking about it earlier on the network about the fact that most of these people that are your colleagues actually have never signed the front of a paycheck. They don't understand where money comes from. They're just like, well, I'm the government. I'm going to write new legislation that gives money to X, Y, and Z. But here's a question for you. Right. GOP, well poised to take the House back in 22. You have radical, nutso squad members, AOC, Ayanna Pressley, run down the list. They've never been
Omar.
Ilham Omar, I mean, case in point, she married her brother. But you have they've never been in the minority of Congress. They've never experienced where they are right now. They've never experienced what it's like to have to, ask for stuff rather than demand it. And they've also led the charges against unseating and stripping Republicans who are in the minority right now of committee assignments. How do you think they're going to react when they maybe start getting stripped of their committee assignments, or they're not in the majority at all and nobody listens to them?
Well, you take Omar, for example, who compared 9/11 to, literally her quote was, some people did something. And she sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I think there's a very little chance she actually stays on there. Or you look at Adam Schiff, who's continued to lie into the American people over and over again about Donald Trump. Or you take
he falsified text messages under oath.
Yes, yeah, right. And then he went out and he was sharing classified information. Or you take this gentleman from California, Swalwell, who dated a Chinese spy, Fang, who sits on the Intelligence Committee, who obviously has been compromised. Now, you had an intelligence clearance. How long would you have kept your clearance if that would have happened to you?
You ever take 0 days?
0, absolutely. And you'd been kicked off the team immediately. Right. There's no room for that. But they set a very unprecedented standard by removing people like Marjorie Taylor Greene off her committees, or sanctioning and pushing forth a resolution to censor Paul Gosar for a video that was posted. And they call foul on all this, but yet they overlook what Tlaib says and what Omar says. I mean, what Tlaib said, that the Holocaust gives her a calming feeling. When she thanks the Holocaust, it gives her, quote, a calming feeling.
She also said she's going to impeach the MFer when it comes to Trump.
Absolutely. When it came to Trump, before he even did anything, they were on a witch hunt to begin with. And I think the American people are sick of this and sick of their antics. And there's no question we're going to win back the House in November. Man, I get the opportunity to travel all over the country, working with the young guns, which recruit people that have signed the front of the paycheck. Because when I first got in office, there was only 2 members of Congress that was currently still running companies. And it was Roger Williams from Texas and myself. Now we have several business people that, guess what, they have a life to come back to. They're just not politicians, but they have a life to come back to. And with the Young Guns program, we recruit people that are business individuals. And I had the privilege of traveling all over the country, and we have some great candidates. I mean, great candidates that are coming forward. We're going to take back the House. Without question, Carl, we're going to take back the House. It's by how many seats? I'm going to say that we'll be somewhere between 35 plus. On the low side, 35 plus.
Anything is better than what we got now. But Congressman Markwayne Mullin, I believe you, sir, and I think it's a noble concept what you're doing, recruiting people who actually know what makes the economy tick to regulate the economy. Weird, huh? But Congressman, come back soon. We'll talk to you.
Carl, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, I'm Rob Schmitt. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.